create your original sound that will identify with you. If you have your own intellectual property, you have the rights to it. Get your trademark.
Intellectual property are not just legal protections, they are human rights for creatives. Welcome to Aspire Multimedia Studio, where True Talk makes pure sense. Today, we celebrate the World Intellectual Property Day, and it's our pleasure to have in the studio today the chairman of PMAN. He is Oliver Sloch Euga. It's so good to have you in our studio today.
The pleasure is mine. Thanks for having me, Aspire.
Yeah, we're more than honored to have you.
All right.
So, sir, as the chairman of PMAN, can you educate us on what PMAN generally means?
PMAN, as the name implies, is Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria. And this association has chapters in all the states across the country. So it's an association that protects the rights of creatives, ensure their royalties are paid, and then we promote and project them as well.
All right, Mr. Sloch, you've told us what PMAN generally means. So what's the importance of intellectual property rights for Nasarawa State creatives in relation to PMAN?
It's very, very important because it's innovative, you know, and then it protects your brand, your trademark, you get, and then it protects you, and it's also a business avenue where you can easily state like which geographical region is this particular intellect coming from. It's very important that every creative has his own intellectual property, and he should have, if you have your own intellectual property, you have the rights to it, the royalties to it, and then even if someone copies your property, you can sue him. Yes, you can sue him because you have the backings. It is created from your mindset, not from someone. So that's why it's important for every creative to have the right to his intellectual property, which he can sell anywhere across the globe.
Okay, that's great. So you spoke about for every creative having their own rights. So how does PMAN educate up-and-coming artists who do not know much about intellectual property on how to protect their intellectual property rights?
Actually, we have been doing a lot of works. As I speak with you, I have some stakeholders I've spoken to. We are planning on a seminar for the creatives. Okay. Then we also have a group on media where we discuss. We always tell them the importance of having original sounds, creating your own original content. There are some of them that sometimes when we meet individually, or maybe when they send songs for review, we tell them, personally, I will tell you, this property, it doesn't sound well, it doesn't sit good with your creative, but I will advise next time. And we will tell them the legal implication. Yes, we tell them the legal implication. So from experiences within and around, outside, we have always been telling them the importance of having your intellectual property. So as I speak with you now, we are planning on the seminar, which is coming up probably maybe ending of May or early June.
So now what steps has PMAN taken, or is PMAN taking in protecting the rights of Nigerian creatives, especially in Nasarawa State?
Yes. Okay. Like, what we do at this stage, we are operating between the tenets of the association, like with the constitution, because we have constitution, we have rules and regulation guiding our operation.
Great.
And then we are also collaborating with the government agencies, most especially the security operatives, our modern ministry, youth and sports, culture and tourism, because we are law-abiding citizens and we cannot go outside the constitution. We cannot go outside the law. So we are collaborating with all the necessary agencies in the states to ensure that these our creatives are being protected, both with their intellectual properties and all that matters.
All right, that is great. So you heard him, the chairman of Nasarawa State Chapter. Your property rights are protected. You just need to be registered as a member of PMAN here in Nasarawa State. So having spoken about the steps that you've taken to help protect the rights of creatives rather in Nasarawa State. What are the biggest challenges you have in protecting these rights of creatives?
We actually have serious challenges.
Okay.
That is because we came in bed, I think, late November or so.
Oh.
Yes, we came in late November, and there are a lot of loopholes in the previous leaders, which nobody is perfect.
Of
yes, we
course.
can only do our best,
Yeah.
and then leave the rest for other people that are coming to build up from there. Now, the challenge we have most times is even with our creatives. Sometimes if you have an event that you are being invited for to attend, you are supposed to notify us, let us know. And then sometimes you go to events or maybe clubs, you hear them playing the contents of our creatives without their royalties. These are some of the challenges we are facing too. And when you start, they will say, this one is practiced everywhere. This is done. But in advanced places, in places like our neighboring state here, Plateau State, places like Lagos, you don't just go and play songs in the club. No. You ensure that the artist in question knows that the song will be played, and whatever benefit you get in that club that day, he will have his royalties.
Before we go, do you have any message for Nigerian creatives, especially in Nasarawa State?
Well, in Nasarawa State, I will only advise my creatives to know one thing. First of all, create your original sound. First of all, create your original sound that will identify with you.
Very important.
And then secondly, your trademark. Your trademark. Let me give you an example of what I mean by trademark. There's this man we call our 001 in Nasarawa State.
Okay.
His original name is Ozotu Ata Godwin.
Yes.
But his trademark is Ozi.
True.
So any artistry work that is related to Ozi, that is his trademark. Secondly, we have this artist that his name is Alu Williams.
Okay.
But his trademark is Scope G. He's a hip-hop artist. Okay. So anytime you hear a content and they say Scope G, you know that, yes, that is his trademark and that is his original content. So after creating your own original sound that will identify with your crafts, get your trademark and then ensure that it is registered. It is registered because lately there was a time I saw someone sharing my friend's name. I had to call his attention. I was like, who is this boy? We have to trace down to the root, and we got the boy. The boy was like, he's a diehard fan. There's no other way he could identify himself with my friend, if not using his name, all that. And I now told him, the legal implication. He said, yes. Now he's even seeking for permission for my friend to allow him use the name. That is how the whole thing lied low. So anytime anything comes up with his name, already that brand knows about him. So he can be protected. You get it? So that is the advice I will give all my creatives. Ensure to protect your intellectual property, you must create your trademark, and then your artistry work will have to link to your trademark. Let them work synonymously.
All right, you heard him. Protect your intellectual property and create your own trademark. Thank you very much for coming to talk to us about PMAN and intellectual property. We really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you very much for watching. Ensure to follow us on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, and TikTok at Aspure Connect. Until we come your way again next time, stay tuned to Aspure Multimedia Studio. I remain Jubu Felicity.